Season 1, Episode 6. We finally launched this thing. Zealous Soul, man.
Yeah. 6. I didn't know I was making 6. That's perfect.
Number 6.
I like number 6. All right.
Yeah.
I love the biggie.
Isn't that awesome? Hell yeah. So, hey, welcome everybody. This is a Zealous Soul. This is episode 6. This is a big one for me because I just launched. We did 5. There were some audio issues on a couple of them, but I think I got this nailed down, and this is number 6. So we're officially starting. And if you want to be on the podcast, just shoot me a message. We'll figure that out. But today I am here with Alex Vineyard. Really fucking awesome dude. He is a really great fire performer. Probably one of the better ones that I've met in my life. You're like super clean and super like awesome. You're a great dude. Great. Aww. You're really good at telling people how to do fire correctly, right? You always are telling people like there's a correct way and there's a non-correct way, and that's a very important thing. And I think a lot of fire performers, especially when they start out, they just don't get that, and they need someone that knows that. So anyway, let's welcome Alex Vineyard to the Zealous Soul. Alex, what's up?
What's up? Well, Mike, it's good to see you again. I've known you for I think we've known each other for almost 7 years now at this point, but I've known of you for about 10.
Yeah.
So I just never made it out to St. Joe when you were doing all the
the
fun stuff out
stuff
there.
Up
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
But then we met 17, I think, at the Samba.
Yeah.
So.
And then did the Renaissance Festival.
Yep.
Yeah, we used to do that when Tammy was out there doing that, and then you took over that.
Yep.
So, yeah, well, I'm glad you're here on the show, man. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's fun to sit and talk with you, actually, and be outside of a strict professional zone.
Right. Yeah, it's always professional. Yeah. Always business.
Yeah. And we gab a little bit, but it's always like, we gotta
right.
secure, spin, whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the first thing that I have heard from feedback is I need to get people to tell the audience who they are, right? Okay. So I feel like that's a good thing to start with. That way the listeners know, do I want to continue listening to this, or do I want to listen to a different episode? So what makes you a zealous soul? Okay.
Well, I'll be honest, I had to look that up. But I do love it. I guess that the more I've thought about it, I guess it does kind of correlate with what I do. I mean, I just kind of see myself as a person that really, loves something, and I'm just doing that. And honestly, I'm just trying to make it so I can live my life and do what I want to do as I want to do it, within the confines of still being good. So, but yeah, I have been a professional fire performer. This is coming 15 years, and that'll be on Halloween. And yeah, I mean, I've been working with the fire departments and all kinds of venues, and done about every kind of event you can think of to either help facilitate or just perform at it. Right. So, yeah, I mean, and I guess by definition what makes me that is I love all things fire, especially fire spinning. Mm-hmm. It is such an amazing tool that can be used for so many different things. Whether you do it for money or for the performance, to gain the energy or, anything from that, or just on your own time. And I've done both. I've done different things. When I started, I was like, I don't, is this just a for me thing, or is this something that I want to, share? Right. So, which is kind of part of my origin, which I know we'll probably go into that here.
Oh, for sure.
In a little bit. But I mean, that's kind of my main thing is just, just making sure that this is more readily available for people. Right. And also that availability is more geared towards making sure they're safe and can be successful in it. And it's not successful in performing. It's successful just in whatever aspect you want to do fire in. Because there's a lot where it's here's fire. I'm going to hand you a flaming prop, have fun. And I've watched that crush so many good artists and fire spinners, and even set them so far back, and then I or someone else talks to them, and then whatever they're trying to do, whatever their career or goal is with fire spinning, just skyrockets because they just weren't given even just a 101.
Right. So, right. Yeah. I mean, that's how I started fire. I didn't know shit about anything. We're those old school burners, because that's about as long as I've been doing it too. And my first prop that I made, I went to a lamp shop and bought 1-inch cotton wick, and I got a fucking eyelet, an eye bolt, did a cathedral wrap on it. There was 3/4 of an inch of metal sticking out the bottom of it.
Great.
I didn't know shit. and I fucked myself up,
Yeah.
and it was terrible. And it wasn't until I found other people, they're like, yo, this is very unsafe. You were going to hurt yourself and others. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. And you only know what you know.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And if you don't know it, you don't know it. And like,
Yeah.
you are such a good proponent of safety. A lot of people like to teach fire safety, but you are very passionate about it. And I can tell, and the community can tell. And you just started offering classes, right? Fire safety classes?
I've been doing the classes for years. I just,
okay.
for some reason, my out of all my wisdom of running businesses and stuff, never thought about posting it on a public page instead of just my personal. So I started doing that 3 years ago. But I've been doing those for, about 10 years.
Cool. Okay.
And even like, festivals, I used to go do those, and they'd be like, hey, we don't have someone to fire safety.
Right.
I'm like, I'll do it.
That's awesome.
So, But I got in at a nice point in the fire era of the United States where you could take a lot of fire safety classes. Those aren't really around anymore.
No.
People get confused with a fire safety meeting being a fire safety class, and that's
way different.
That's way different.
Oh,
that's like having lunch versus like business meeting that's going to be 3 hours, you know?
Right. Yeah, anybody can just say, here, this is the blanket, you put your prop on top, fold it over, and wait to go out. But there's so much more to it.
There is.
So much more. Like if you're using a fire extinguisher, when is the time to use the fire extinguisher? What type of fire extinguisher is it? There's so much to it. So I appreciate you for bringing that awareness to the community. It's very important.
That means a lot to me because I've felt a lot of... I think it's too, one of those things when you're doing something, you're reaching a lot of people. It's more of the the pushback that you see than like the positives.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm trying not to do that, but it just has felt very daunting a lot of times. So I really appreciate you saying that. That means more to me than anything when people tell me that.
I've seen that online. I've seen people ostracize you and be like, like you're acting like a mom and like all this other stuff, but they don't really understand that fire is a very dangerous element. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do fire spinning is because we're dancing with this thing that humanity has feared for so long. I mean, it can provide food for you, and it can also take your life, very easily. Yes. And I've known people who have died from doing fire spinning, and it's fucking terrible. Like, especially breathers with the chemical pneumonia.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I've seen some people get really fucked up, and including die, and if you don't know what you're doing, do you really want to sacrifice your life to it? Is that the goal? The goal is to have fun, right?
The goal is to have fun and push the limits, but obviously, when I tell people, I'm like, it's not that I'm always, this strict, like obviously when I'm doing gigs and stuff, but like backyard, like my half-ass safety is still a higher end than what a lot of what I see just in public. Right. But I mean, like, if you want to push the envelope, you want to do that stupid shit, especially like, I'm starting to do the cornstarch breathing the last few years. It's like, motherfucker, if you want to breathe cornstarch into my face and I'll blow off of it, cool, but we're going to have everything set up to do that because if I'm going to push the envelope, I want that padding, It's the same with like aerialists or anything. It's like they're not going to attempt that without a net or something the first few times. Right. And of course, even when it's not there, everything is still in place. Yeah. So,
haters gonna hate, whatever, And I guess the only way to learn that lesson is to not listen to fire safety and hurt yourself, and then be like, "Oh, that was important."
You
know what I'm saying?
And I mean that scares the shit out of me.
100%.
I mean, even you saying that you've seen, I have been fortunate enough to not know anybody that has died from it. Yeah. I've heard in the community, and you and other people I know, and I mean, it just makes my heart sink every time I hear that, and it's just because it is supposed to be fun, and it's tribal, and it's spiritual, it's meditative, and I mean it's an awe factor too, and it's just it's to be enjoyed, and art is to be pressed, but also it's like you're not painting with lead paint every time you're trying to do a new mural,
Right. So yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way first thing, because that's something that kind of weighs on my mind too, is that people do have that pushback, and I wanted to make sure that that I think that it's awesome what you're doing. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Thank you. I'm gonna try. My goal is to make a board here. Nice. It's gonna be the first thing, hopefully.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Hell yeah. Right on. Well, let's kick this off a little bit more. I have no idea where you're from. Are you from the Midwest?
Born and raised. KC.
Yep. KC? Really?
Yep. Right here.
That's awesome.
So I've lived in Overland Park pretty much my whole life. Both my parents actually met as police officers. My dad was a police officer for 20 years.
Oh, cool.
And then my mom did different like medical backgrounds and things like that. When she was growing up, she was front desk, and that was the time where they needed people to learn how to assist in surgeries, they'd come out, offer. And so she's done stuff like that her whole life.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, I grew up with medical and then, of course, the law enforcement
Right.
background. But my dad was injured by the time that I was really old enough to remember anything. So he finished his last 4 years pretty much making all the cars. Because, those Crown Vics don't come souped.
No, they don't.
They have to put all that stuff in, all the lights and everything, and paint them sometimes too.
You have to upfit them for sure.
Yeah, so he was pretty much the maintenance guy for, he was officer still, but he was main maintenance for all that for the last 4 years till he got his 10 years. So
damn, that sucks he got injured.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. And your mom was in medical. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives me a little bit background of like why you're so, adamant about safety. Because like, we have to be safe especially, I mean, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
You see people that are hurt and you want to make sure that they don't get hurt.
Yeah. Or at least mitigate the damage,
Right.
It's a lot. That's a lot of what this is. It's just mitigating the damages, which is anything from physical to financial, and even legal.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have any siblings?
I have one sibling. Yes,
Yeah?
I have a brother. Growing up's a little weird. He actually caught, I don't know what it was called. It's some long term, but he got a viral infection in his brain when he was newborn. And it ate away at the left side. So those that don't know, the cortex is the brain. The front left cortex is your speech.
Right.
Or its right side controls speech and then hearing. And it made it like almost to hearing.
Wow.
It didn't touch his hearing because those that don't know, anything that damages hearing, there's no middle ground there.
Right.
You're deaf.
Yeah.
But the right side control and speech, there's a lot of gray zone there. So, but he wasn't supposed to be walking or talking or anything. And I mean, he's got a black belt in Taekwondo right now, and he does MMA and a few other things. His right hand is not as mobile, and when he talks, it's like if you hold your tongue and try and talk, because half of it's numb.
Wow.
So that was a different upbringing.
Right.
Lots of different things with that, with the family and things. So
that's incredible that he got a black belt in Taekwondo.
Dude, it's crazy.
With all that.
Yeah, and he broke a brick too. He was the only one to break the cinder block.
What a badass.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow. And he still lives here in KC?
Yeah, we all cohabitate at the same home.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so neat, man.
So, but I mean, and that added to like the medical, because we've been through all kinds of things with that, because it was partial doctor neglect with the whole thing, and also they didn't really know what was going on. So by the time it was caught, that's just where it was. But I mean, even growing up, by the time like when I was 10, from normal sibling thing where your parents are going to go out and you're going to watch, I had to be CPR certified, and I had to know seizure protocol, and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So I've known all that. I've been CPR certified since I was 10. So
that's wild. What an interesting like perception of life.
Yeah.
Like I don't have anything to compare it to. I was an adopted only child, so
but see, I don't know anything of like I can't even fathom that kind of thing.
It's so strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
How we all perceive life just a little bit differently because of what we were brought into.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, here's life, and it's different for everybody. Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's the cards you get, and they keep coming until it's over.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was hard growing up and stuff. But a lot of it was just not understanding. And as I got older, and there's still some rifts in my family, but it's a lot closer and better than it was, especially my parents realizing things, me realizing like a lot of the stuff that happened wasn't really my fault. They just were doing the best they could. And, of course, when we're doing the best we can, sometimes it's not the best option that happens.
Yeah.
So,
and it's easy to look back later and be like, fuck, I did these things wrong. I should have done these things, but like, you're doing the best you can with what you know how. And, we got to have a little bit of grace.
Yes. Yeah, and I can't even imagine how it felt for them, because they obviously have, because it was my grandma when my mom's mom, when I was born, she was diagnosed with leukemia. And then when my brother was born, she was terminal. So she wanted to see the new baby. Right. She had a cold sore that nobody knew about. And that was where the infection came from. So there's a lot of, my mom especially. Yeah. Just, and that's just something that she's had to
not much
deal
you can
with.
do, though.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Exactly. So
that's heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
I'm glad that you are doing well, and obviously he's doing well. And, I'm sure life was fucking rough parts of it.
It was weird.
Yeah, super weird.
Weird is definitely rough. I've known people, and this isn't like, oh, some people have it worse than me, I'm gonna cancel out. No, I mean, I've seen like rough, and, I have friends, and it's like, it was different,
right.
but I honestly wouldn't change anything, because literally everything that's happened is how I'm here and how I have all this knowledge, and I mean, what pushed me to do that.
It's what made you.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
So when is it that you found flow?
So I was 18.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll back up just a little bit. So through high school, I was like the weird emo kid with the weird emo dudes, and we're all the metalheads is what we were. Everybody sees me with the locks and everything, and they're like, oh, I like EDM. I'm like, yeah, I like some, but no, give me some face melting metal. That's where I'm at. But anyway,
I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. People look at me and think that I'm hippie too. I'm like, no.
Nah, I can see and smell it on you.
Yeah.
But see,
I'm punk
we're
rock
the same.
metal,
We can smell the metal in your veins.
Right,
So.
right. Like actually Laura's youngest is like got in the Jeep the other day. She's like, any new music that you want to show me? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't know if you know this, but every time I ride with you, I'm writing down all those songs that you're showing me because it's awesome. I got her into The Offspring and NoFX and Tool and all these ones. She's like, this is so awesome.
Yeah, gotta get into all the other Manor bands too. Get them all three.
Oh yeah, I haven't gone that far yet.
Okay,
we will. We're going.
But anyway, so I had made a couple other friends, and they were kind of in the foster system and stuff. And long story short, they ended up becoming heroin addicts. And I actually, one of them OD'd in my car when we were seniors. So it was junior year, and so seniors, and I mean there was just a lot with that. Like I rode that bus with them. I wasn't doing it or anything, but they don't teach you that kind of stuff in school.
No.
And I mean, when I went through my whole program, I learned, the difference between like, active and inactive, and what is, helping and not helping. And I was doing everything that's not helping, like I was giving money because they were sick, and it was like, I loved them. I just didn't want them to suffer. But I mean, I was doing, I was riding that with them, and then, that all happened, and it was just, so I had a lot of rough stuff happen through high school on top of the home life and all that kind of thing. Right. So, but I had made some other friends, that actually went to Blue Springs, so they didn't go to the same school. I was with Shawnee Mission South, and they did some fire stuff, but I knew it and never saw it. And there was like 8 of them in this friend group, and I think like 3 of their birthdays were within about 2 weeks of each other, so they always did some joint things. So by the time I got out of high school, I'd become pretty good friends with them, and they decided to do a camping trip out in Lawrence, and they invited me to go, and so I went, and I mean, each one did something different. There was Sean that did Poi, there was Hooper, there was Diablo, which was brand freaking new around that time, everything.
That was longer than 15 years ago. Professional fire spinning for 15. Longer.
That was 2011.
Okay.
But and I mean, I just remember like it was like 15 minutes because each one of them took some time, did a thing, and then they took a break, and I just remember coming, and when they were done, it was like I had this realization that I wasn't sad for the first time in a long time.
That's amazing.
For even just that 15 minutes. And I had this, what I could only recall from being younger, is this childlike awe and wonderment from it. And I was just like, I want to do that.
Right.
And I mean, there's the half, of course, where it's like, it's really freaking cool. But also it was like, it made me feel that way, where I just had this, it wasn't even bliss. It was just, I could do and be entertained by something else. Yeah. And I just wanted to give that to other people. Right. I wanted to do that,
That's beautiful.
On a selfish end, but also as like a, because I was never good at art. Right. Stick figures are disfigured, and I tried all this stuff, and it just like, I never could get it. And even reading, it's like, I have a hard time reading. Right. School system did not do me well. So,
as the school system does.
So like, this is the first thing where I was like, I like this. This is art. This is cool. I'm going to try this. And so I spent the next year with those people, practicing Poi, and learning the safety. And then that next year at that they did that same camping thing, and I spun fire for the first time, and
that's awesome.
Loved it.
What was the first prop that you picked
Poi.
up? Poi.
Yep.
Nice.
I did Poi hardcore for 10 years.
Right. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I was a poi boy forever.
Yeah. I didn't pick up anything else until Laura and I got together. Honestly, I was just doing poi the entire time.
Yeah.
And then she's like, if you want to get hired for more of the stuff we do, you need to learn more shit. I'm like, okay. So then I got the dart, and then I got the doubles, and then I got, the sword and all that other stuff. I'm like, okay, I want to learn more shit. I'm like, I feel like I should have done this fucking decade ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. That's how I felt too. Cause I did, I mean, I was with a couple different troops and, I was just the poi boy, but like, I also knew the safety. Like I was the one that like, cause those people I was with, they knew tricks of the light. If you know tricks of the light, a lot of them learned from them. And so they, everything I grew up in with the fire community was safety oriented. Yeah. And like, we're going to be silly and ratchet, but like, we're going to have all this in place. Right. And like, also back then it was like, you don't burn for a year. You're everybody's safety bitch. Yeah. It's a little bit more harsh than what it was, but you're putting out all these props. You're getting time on the towel. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that now.
No, it's not. But I'm bringing that up a lot more now, and people are like, we actually kind of like that. And I'm like, well, that's great, because about 5-6 years ago, I was being shunned.
Oh, man.
But funny. Yeah, so I was really lucky in that, and I keep that in mind when I'm doing stuff, is like, because mine was like, even our jams and like everything, it was like a skill share. It was like, here, check out this thing I'm doing. And it's like, oh, like, I'm trying to do this trick, and it was somebody knew how to like help you develop it, Right.
So that's a big part of it.
It was.
We always help each other out. I mean, that's how it was in the early days, I feel like, and then it kind of got to the point where there was a lot of gatekeeping going on, and people were like, I don't want to show people how to do it and be better than me, and like, it just goes back to what you said. Like, I don't perform for anybody else but myself. I just love to burn, and that led me to where I can get paid to do it, right? So that is the professional side of me, but at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I love doing it, and it makes me feel good. So anytime somebody wants to learn something, I'm like, hell yeah, I'll show you, Yep. I taught this dude that had been spinning poi for 10 years, and he could never get a 3-beat weave down.
Oh my gosh.
And he was super fast, and he was just doing a 2-beat. Yeah. And I was like, just let me help you. And he's like, you're not going to teach me. People have tried to teach me for 10 years. And I'm like, just let me help you.
Get that all the time.
And he's like, I said, drop your poi. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, drop your poi. And I said, can I hold your hands from behind? And he's like, yeah. And I showed him over and over. Yep. He got it the first time. He fucking was crying. He gave me, he was like, no, what the fuck? Yep. I'm like, I'm not trying to gatekeep this, man. This isn't me. I didn't invent this shit.
No.
You know? I want you to feel that joy that I feel.
Yeah.
Fuck
exactly.
the gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it was really a double-edged sword with that, because there were people that were just they were really gatekeeping it, but I mean, I was on the other end of that, and it was like, I'm like, and I even remember around here, like, we had Drum Tribe out at Loose Park, and like they put on a thing, and I mean, I was going there before a lot of people started showing up, and it was like, there's no burning. And people started burning there. And I remember I went up to someone one time that was spinning. I was like, hey, like, you need to, like, put those out. Right. We have a no burn notice from the department. They know we're here. Right. And they, like, look around and they're like, where? And I'm like, where's your safety? I don't have one. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand here and watch you while they burn out. Right. And then, as it finished, I, like, kind of approached, and I was going to be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, but, like, they know we're here. This is part of our law. But, like, they just walked off. Yeah. Like, I just... offended them or something, How dare you tell and it's just like, and I mean, I run into that a little bit today too, because like, my fire safety classes are $100. Yeah. But it's 3 hours. Yeah. It's a 3-hour class. It's hands-on. You're putting yourself out. You're putting me out. You're learning everything you need to know to do it safely by yourself or professional. Right. I add in all that stuff. Yeah. And I mean, I've donated them. I've done them, people just are honest with me. I'm good with that. But I've also learned from, a professional standpoint, people pay for something, they're more likely to actually listen and pay attention and cherish what's given to them. So it's not that I'm hard on that you got to pay me. It's just that's more of a filter for me than anything. And same with like, I teach poi, and I just opened up doing some staff. I finally feel okay enough to teach staff after 4 years. Right. And actually I guess it's like 5 or 6 now. Yeah. But it took me that long to be like, I feel comfortable enough that I can actually help teach somebody else. Right. And I do $48 an hour for those. And it's like, I give out stuff all the time if people just come ask me. Yeah. Or if I see somebody's just right there at something, I'm like, hey, can I just fluff a little bit for you? Yeah, just like get that, Yeah. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So That's how you started doing
Yeah.
poi, started doing flow. Is there any time that you like thought about quitting doing it professionally? Like, and how did that like work out for you? Like,
Yeah. I guess I have two different quit stories. The first one was actually that it was after that first year. So I had burned and I had tried I was learning the safety from everybody, but that whole first year I was trying to self-teach.
right.
And from videos, because of course Play Poi, Nick Woosley, best poi spinner,
Yeah.
and great videos, and I
Yeah.
still use a lot of his techniques when I teach too. But I hit a wall on things because having somebody be able to see,
Yeah.
makes it easier.
Yeah.
So I had actually stopped for like 3 months because there was tricks I just couldn't get.
Right.
And then it was like Halloween, and I was like, you know what? I've spent money on these glow stick poi here, and I've got these. I think they were autumn, and it was green, orange, and
Right.
an off-color orange. So it was Halloween colors. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go out. I'm gonna wear just a little fun, not full-on costume, and I'm gonna just, if kids come, I'll give them candy.
Yeah.
And man, that was the busiest that neighborhood had ever been. And I gave so many kids candy, and they loved what I was doing.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like, this is why I started again.
Right.
This is a reminder, and I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I joined the troop a little later than that, and I was with them for about 4 years. And then there was personal, professional differences that happened there to when I left, and that really hurt.
Yeah.
And I, at that time back then, I quit.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking back and understanding now, it was a break.
Yeah.
But I mean, I quit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was about 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And but even during that 2-3 years, I was still reading NFPA. I was still keeping my fire safety upbrushed. I was still playing around with
Right.
poi and practicing and doing burns in people's backyards.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
taught a few people that wanted to learn, but I was just doing it as laissez-faire,
Right. Right. Yeah.
So that's why, looking back, it's like I never stopped. I just had to recuperate.
Take a little break. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Anybody who's been doing poi or any kind of flow arts professionally for a long time, they get with a group, and anytime you're with a group of people, you're going to have differences, and sometimes those differences get out of control, and like I know all about it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was rough. It was rough, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that was it, and then that was when I decided, like, I'm going to do my own thing. Like,
Right.
I feel established enough. I feel enough of my own presence and power that I can do this, and
Yeah.
like I still want to work with people. And I mean, my vision even still today is my shows that I do myself.
Yeah.
Anything past 15 minutes, I'm calling another burner.
Right.
Because that's the kind of show I want to put on. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to, do one-man circus like Jason or anything.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
God, Jason's such a badass.
you need to get him on
Oh,
here.
I got to get a hold of him. Yeah, Jason.
Just
Devad,
send
if
him a
you're
message and wait for
listening.
him to be not busy.
Yeah,
So.
I'm gonna be hitting him up.
But because that's what I want to do. I want to do full-on fire shows, and that's what
Right.
I've made, is just like get people to see, like, it's not just someone twirling or in a martini glass or something like that. This
Right.
is like people that dedicate time and
Yeah.
energy, and like they throw these props around like there's no gravity, and physics can just fly out the window.
Yeah.
And so that's what I try and do, and that's what I started doing. When I did my own thing, and and I learned a lot from the troops and stuff. There was things I didn't know that
100%.
I learned. So
Yeah.
it's all you never meet anybody for no reason.
Oh, 100%.
Good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's just me. So
Right,
because that's
right.
but yeah, and then here I am, and I'm working with the fire department and trying to get a relationship with them and us, the community. I already have one with them, but I want a communal one,
Yeah.
and hopefully I can try and get some kind of board or something set up to where we have licensing, because
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing that really holds a lot of people back, and a lot of just helping this be, I mean, not only more lucrative, that's like the tertiary option of the whole thing, but just safer and helping people progress more
Right.
than being stuck because they just weren't given the tools they need to play with fire, you
Right.
know?
And licensing as in how? Like, are you talking about the KC Flow community? Like
I mean, I'm talking national.
national?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
mean, if we had a better, current presidency, I could possibly throw it, but there's no way that it's going to make money. And I can't make it sound like it's going to make money. It's going to
Right.
cause a reform of part of the police department. It's going to cause a reform of part of the fire department.
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
Right.
It's not going to be like, and reform's a heavy word. It's not that much, but it be a little bit of training and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very possible. But I think the way is going to be make something here and then get other states to do it, and then finally bring it and be like, hey, like we've shown it works, and this is what its positives it's done.
Yeah.
Can we like make a local thing? Because I mean that's what like tattoo did. Tattoos tied to the cosmetology licensing, and that's how they got theirs. And I mean, it's still not as monitored as it should be, but they at least have a system of like, you got to do this to get your licensing, and then you got to have a license to stab somebody.
Okay,
so
that's what you were talking about.
Yes,
so I was
yes.
thinking like licensing as how? So like licensing as a professional fire performer.
Yeah, being like I can spin fire, and you can only hire people that have the permit.
Right.
I
like that because we've all seen those videos, and we've all seen like things happen where people hire somebody out that has been doing it for 3 months, and like they just don't do it right, and it's not about that part's not about gatekeeping. It's about being professional. I love that idea. I think it's a great idea.
It's definitely a professional end, and I mean, it's even farther than that. It's like, if you don't have one thing set, like if you don't have an ABC extinguisher when you're supposed to, your insurance doesn't have to cover you. We all know how insurances are. They look for any reason not to cover you, and that is absolutely a reason that they won't cover if anything happens. And I mean, I've had to explain to the community recently, I'm like, if you're not doing it with smarts and like all this stuff, like you can catch a felony.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
100%. It's first, second, or third degree, arson is immediately a felony. And as fire spinners, we can easily get 1 or 2 just from dropping a prop and it rolling to set something on fire. And no one has to die or anything or get hurt for that to happen. And I've been through the court system. I faced 20 years at one point.
Jesus.
I did really not good stuff in my teens and early 20s.
Right. Our brains aren't developed.
Yeah.
We do some dumb shit. I know all about that.
It was definitely a bit of that, and definitely just, I was lost in some addiction. I was lost in, everything with those friends I had. And just, and I just made, poor decisions. And, part of it was for, a plant that shouldn't really, be anything. But also what I got caught for was not even close to what I was actually doing. So there was a blessing in that, because if I had, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be here.
It's fucking crazy how not that long ago, I mean, less than 5 years ago, people were going to prison for a plant that grows in the dirt. I know so many people that just had a nugget on them, and just fucking years in prison. Like, what the fuck, dude? And now it's just like, you can just go buy it on the corner store. Like, what? What? I mean, it's great.
Yeah. No, it is. It absolutely. I mean, I still think, like there's, it was part of, that whole thing when you're in stuff like that, where you kind of convince yourself to like keep doing it. Obviously there was the negative aspects, but I was like, I'm a modern day bootlegger, man.
Right.
Like one day I'm going to be obsolete, and like, it's not going to be completely because of me, but like, I'm going to have a hand in it, and I want a finger in it a little bit, But I mean, I got caught with 60 grams and then a big Ziploc baggie full of crumbs of weed cookie. Yeah. And of course they tried to say that was wax, and I'm like, it's literally peanut butter. You can smell it. And they actually made me pay taxes on that. They didn't charge me. They made me pay $350 in
oh my God,
in taxes on it. And then that 20 years, which I've heard of people that killed people for less than that.
Oh,
But Kansas is in a what they call non-discriminatory state. This is something I learned, and it means that their classifications of drugs, first, second, and third schedule, are only the separation of classification. So whichever schedule you're in, you are charged at the highest amount for the highest offending drug. No. So since marijuana is a Schedule 1 and so is heroin, it's the same as 60 grams of heroin.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's
wild.
That's what that was all about. But
maybe Kansas won't be so backwards one of these days. Who knows?
We can hope, hopefully. But again, with what I was actually doing, that was a huge blessing compared to what I really could have got caught doing. I would be in prison probably for my whole life with what I was doing. So, and obviously I was never violent. I've never been a violent person. I don't like doing that.
Same.
But I did learn to run my mouth. So.
I mean, that's just something that comes natural too. Burners is snark. We're really good at snark.
Yeah.
It's actually passed on to all my children now, so that's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It keeps you spry, right?
Right. I don't even need to be around the community. I just have to exist. And then they're like popping off. I'm like, all right, pop off. I guess I can't be mad at you because I did that.
It's me too. That's me.
Oh that's fucking cool. I like that that licensing thing.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you about the current administration. This shit is fucked in so many ways.
Yeah.
We're not going to get political on here, but
No, that's just putting it light. I agree.
yeah, for sure.
But I would love to have that because, I mean, especially around here, we have a lot of, I mean, it's venues and it's performers. They're not insured, or they're not even just getting a permit. They're getting insurance, but they're not doing the permitting through the fire department. The fire department is having a huge issue, and that's a big red flag right now for Kansas and Missouri side. And luckily now it doesn't affect the whole community. I've talked to a few marshals, and they say it makes enough revenue now, and it's become mainstream that they're not trying to affect the whole community like it was when we first started.
Right.
But they're going after individuals and individual venues now. So, and I just don't want people to get in trouble. Because again, I was a felon for 7 years, and that shit is awful. Yeah. And I mean, it was through COVID too, and that was a whole nother repeat of explaining to my parents and my good friends, like, I can't get a job.
Right.
They will not hire me. And they're like, well, it's an emergency, and like, no one cares about felons anymore. I'm like, they do. It's an umbrella. Right. And if you operate in here, and I was lucky to get by the mom and pop jobs I had. Yeah. I had one for 4 years and another one for 4 years, and that got me through COVID. And then I tried to get my expungement for my felony, and the state denied me. So I took the state to court and represented myself, and I won.
That's baller as fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
it was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was really, really hard.
But that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just to go in front of a judge, and represent yourself for something like that, and then getting it to go your way, that's fucking incredible, dude. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So it was hard not to break down and of course the judge was the same judge that actually sentenced me originally, so that was kind of cool. That was just a luck of the draw, which he was fair and everything. As opposed, he was the most fair judge I had. I was in the system for from when I was 18 till 25. Wow. I was in the system for a lot of different things. I have some misdemeanors and things like that. I was on house arrest 3 different times for 3 months, 2 months, and 3 months, and so I mean, I've been through it, and I've had the I've had the discrimination, just because, those that don't know, I'm white, but I have locks, and I mean, I started growing my hair out when I was going into middle school, and I mean, even just having long hair as a male, especially here in the Bible Belt, and it's just, you get treated differently, and it was just eye-opening. I had an elderly couple one time. The old woman spit on me when I was holding the door open.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck no.
So, and I mean, I'm just standing there smiling, and, but that's just, it's gotten better. It has gotten better around here, but there's a lot of that, like secondhand discrimination. And
my salty ass would have just closed the door right on her.
Dude.
Fuck you, lady.
Nah,
what?
That wasn't me. Yeah, that's not me. That was me at one point, but not during that time.
Yeah. So. I'm kind of an asshole. If you spit on me, I don't care. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I get the discrimination just because, I was heavily tattooed when tattoos were not socially acceptable. I had a fucking eyeball in the back of my head in 2010, and everybody's like, you're never going to get a job. I'm like, I got fucking skills. It doesn't even matter. Yeah. But I definitely know what it's like to be treated like fucking just absolute garbage. Everybody thinks I'm a felon. Yep. I had somebody say, I heard a rumor that you're violent and you have a history of violence. I'm like, bro, no, I'm not a violent person. Like, there is nowhere, anywhere in any court system or anybody's mouth that said I assaulted or hurt anybody. Yeah. Like, I am such a peaceful motherfucker. Yeah. But they just see it and they're like, oh, I know.
I mean, even your essence is like you're chill, Right. Someone says hi to you and you say hi, and it's like, oh, that guy's nice. Right. There's no question about it.
It takes a lot to piss me off.
Dude, yeah.
And me even more to make me, like, throw hands, because I don't do that. Yeah. There's no reason to. No. I've got a really good voice and really way of reasoning with people, right? Yes. That's how I like to deal with it. Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, no judgment to anybody, but a lot of people I run into, they're like, how did you survive doing that kind of stuff without it? I'm like, well, I've been threatened before, but, like, I learned how to de-esculate, young, but also I understood how well it was that I could do the opposite too. Right, so, right. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, it is crazy. It's like, no, I'm not, just because I got tattoos doesn't mean I'm violent or, right. Which I don't have any. I'm a clear skin. That's great. I've got some face piercing. Yeah, I need to get some. Yeah. I was about to get some, and then, 2020. So COVID hit, literally ready. All my money saved went to other things. Yeah. So I've got a whole, like, folder in my phone of, like, ones I want and stuff. You're ready to go. And I was ready, but then it was like, all right, well, that, like, $5,400 I had saved is going to, because I was working at mom and pop then, and, we were relying on the restaurant business, and of course that went under, and so
Tanked.
we literally just kept growing food to make sure we had food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Damn.
yeah.
What are you doing now, like, for work?
So I work, and it's hard to explain. I work for a company that's hired by doctors to pretty much do everything other than see patients. So I do triaging, I do vitals, checking in, checking out, billing, scheduling.
Okay, that's awesome.
Even I work for 9 naturopathic doctors and then 2 chiropractors, about to be 3 chiropractors.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I had no idea.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean,
that's a career.
it would be fun to do the performing stuff full time, but I know what it takes, and it's a lot of traveling and stuff, and that's just not in me.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah, dude.
And you don't get
I
a lot
envy
of money.
you guys, but also like no.
Oh, I don't. I've made more money repairing machines.
Well,
you
yeah.
know, I was making 6 figures repairing heavy machinery.
Yeah.
And then when I took the leap to do this, it was like, oh yeah, I don't make a lot of money at all.
Yeah, that's cut.
But the currency that is most valuable to me is seeing the look on people's faces, hearing the stories, how they affected, what we do affects them. I'll never forget a friend of mine a long time ago when I taught her how to do some flow stuff. And then we kind of parted ways for a long time. And then years later down the road, she's like, this fucking professional badass, doing all this stuff. She's like, I wouldn't be here if I never met you, if you never showed me this. And it's like, goes back to that Wookie Foot lyric, you plant the seed and watch it grow. And that's basically why I do it, is because we're here to affect those around us in a good way. And I'm not going to be the person that people are going to look at and say, he affected the world in a negative way, because fuck that. There's enough of that shit, So yeah, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, art is its own currency.
Yeah,
we as humans need it all the time. We consume it every day.
Right.
I wouldn't be anywhere without music.
Yeah.
And, and I love art, even though I can't do it, which I think makes it even cooler to me,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, how did you even, like, with a brush?
Right.
I mean, with a chisel?
The same way. Yeah.
Wood burning? Like, that's 3D. What are you talking about?
Right. I can weld. That's what I make art
And
out
that's
of,
cool too. Yeah, I love your welding stuff. It was always so cool to see,
Yeah. I had to take a break from that for a little while.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate, but you always go back to it.
It's something you just can't strike an arc in the middle of your house, You're just going to burn your house down. Like, I have to have a shop.
Professionally, are you sure?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can try. It's the same reason why I don't teach workshops of how to weld at festivals.
I was pretty sure that plasma was cold spark, just like regular sparks.
Right. Yeah, one of these days we're going to have a place to do it, and I'll get back into it and teach people how to do what I know how to do. But, until then, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It gets to the point now where we travel so much and perform so much that it's an actual job.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't see me at the community flow jams because, like, we have a family, we're doing all this other stuff, but we want to go. Like, it's not like we don't want to go. We want to go, but
You're doing other community things.
Yeah.
It does, everything. You guys are living and breathing community and art and, doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's no need to apologize for anything like that.
Right.
Like, it took me years to get back out to the community, but that was because I was finally welcomed in.
Yeah.
And, but it's...
Speaking of the community, man, you've been doing some stuff with the Flow Arts Kansas City. I saw what you and Jay and Caleb, you guys working together to get the slabs going back up. I saw there was an issue there that they said you can't go there anymore, and all I saw was it was shut down. And then I'm always on social media watching this stuff, and then all of a sudden Jay posts this thing about we're back on, we got the thing. Tell us what happened there.
I've been trying to go to the slabs for the last couple of years. I kind of go stake it out and see, how safe is this? Because if I'm just in a place, even if I'm not burning, and something happens, I can lose my insurance.
Sure.
It's just something that not a lot of people realize, but I mean, it is.
Right.
And so I'd kind of go in and out, and last year I went. It's probably July or so. And I never knew who ran it. Yeah. And I don't really think anybody did, which no one did. Yeah. There was just people that kind of curated.
Renegade shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had made a post in one of, like, the dedicated slabs chat or group, and I was like, hey, like, whoever runs this, I saw a lot of, like, unsafe stuff, but it's really easy to fix. Like, I would really like to help. And of course that wasn't, heard, but there was a First Fridays thing here that was happening, run by somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, run by somebody that exploits fire spinners.
Yeah.
And there was incidents that happened there. They were not extreme. Nobody was hurt, but it was like the tippy tip of the iceberg kind of popped through.
Yeah.
And everybody's stomach dropped. And we're kind of like, this is kind of what some of these motherfuckers have been talking about.
Yeah.
And they kind of started to see.
Yeah.
And so I got called by Caleb, and he was like, hey, like, are you willing to help do this? Like, all these people want your help now. They want it. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I've been trying to do that for a long time.
Right.
I actually cried about it because
That's
it's
amazing.
been a really big thing that I've wanted.
Such a fucking great
Yeah,
dude.
I know, right?
He's such a great fucking dude.
Fucking Caleb.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
But yeah, and I mean, it's been cool. We kind of have a little like kind of board going on, and I used my connections and stuck my neck out a little bit to get everybody connected and teach people like that end of it. Right. And I got it permitted. Yeah. And then Jay took some time, and he walked around and did the sound permitting thing, because Gillum Park is freaking weird. It's like a sanctioned area, and it's like kind of city, but not. It's weird.
It's a strange deal.
It is weird. Yeah. But yeah, we got it all sanctioned, and I mean, I was worried because, again, you see a lot more of the negative pushback and the people that are fighting you. You remember that a lot more than the positives. And
100%.
And I mean, a lot of the people, even like the new ones, they're like, I love this. Yeah. Like, thank you for doing this. Yeah. You guys are doing awesome. Like, I feel safer here. And like, that's my big thing. I want people to feel safe where they're at. I want them to feel you have that safety net, and there's no ceiling.
Right.
But if you're just trying to smash through the ceiling without anything behind you,
right,
it's scary.
Yeah.
The things that can happen, and you've seen it and I've seen it. I just don't want people to see that.
Right.
I try and tell them that in the safety classes. I'm like, if you don't know what a third degree burn looks like or what it has to go through, like, look it up.
Yeah.
Because I get emotional every time I talk about it, because it's like, it's fucked.
It's
not fun.
Right. Learn from the old heads that have done this, to the point where it's like, this is not the right way to do things.
No.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. I'm really proud of you for going through all that stuff and, seeing all the negative, all the bullshit, and like still pushing through. And then I know exactly what you're talking about the First Friday thing. Yeah. We all saw that.
Yeah.
But I love Jay and you and Caleb. You guys are all amazing. And I've been wanting to come out there ever since the slabs came back up, so I can, see what you're doing, because I know the community really loves it, and I know I've seen nothing but good things about it. So thank you for doing that for Kansas City, and thank you for going through all the bullshit that you went through just to get to that point that now you're like, all right, we can do things at this level and make it safe and be good for everybody.
Yeah. So thank you. That means a lot to me. It really does. Which I will shout out Spartacus too, if you don't know Spartacus or anything.
I don't know if I know Spartacus. I know the name.
He'd be a good one to talk to. He's pretty much the reason that the slab stayed together as long as it did, and continues to be like the main safety. He lives right by it, and I mean, he's just as on it as you and I are. And I mean, he would just dedicate his time to be out there, so somebody was there for these new people that were safe. Yeah. And this is before even we were doing all this stuff. So I
might have met Spartacus, but I meet so many different people, so I just like, I can't quite place the face to the name.
That's okay. His name's Sean, but it usually goes by Spartacus. So
he
thin built, about 6 foot, mixed.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Just rope dart and poi.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. I haven't really talked to them.
Very sweet.
A lot. Yeah. He seems very nice.
He and his wife are sweet. They're just the sweetest fucking people.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It takes a community to do this.
Yeah.
And it's, we all know what's like when we're doing Renegade Birds. We were around long enough,
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see that in Kansas City, because for years it seemed like there was a disconnect with the Kansas City scene, and
there was.
I don't like seeing that. I like it when people come together. It makes things way better.
Yeah, I mean, that's my whole goal, is that I want a place like I had, because all my friends that did it, that taught me, and I saw it, like, they're still around, but there's only about 2 of them that still do it. There's a couple more that just started getting back into things with Movement Monday, which is nice to see them do that. Yeah. But, I mean, most of them, like, just don't do it anymore, whether it's their body or they got, pun intended, burnt out on how the community, what it turned into.
Right.
And I miss that where it's like when I go to a burn, like my thought is still like, all right, this is going to be like us hanging out and like, yeah, we're going to be spinning, we're going to be safe, but like it's progression.
Yeah.
It's about learning, it's about sharing, and it's about just hooping and hollering for your friends.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
Yeah, gassing each other up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Well, hopefully one of these days Laura and I will make it out there, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of my schedule now until the end of the year. And
we're going till October.
Yeah,
Last Thursday of October is when we're done.
Okay.
So we're making it more of a strict schedule this year.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to keep that. So
and that's every Thursday from
7 to 10 at Gillen Park. So, and then of course anybody that just wants to come see, this is a public outreach. We are doing everything we do is out of pocket. And it is for people to come see. The whole neighborhood already knows about us and loves us.
Nice.
That's why Jay was able to get all those signatures.
Didn't you go door to door or something?
Yeah,
like
he went to door to door. Yeah, he took time and went door to door. Him and another friend, Jayla. Yeah, they went door to door.
Jayla's awesome too.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's like our KC Flow Mayhem. So
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody that is interested in becoming a fire spinner, or at least just learning what it's about, like that's the place. That is what we're trying to do. That is like the front gates to performing here is what we're hoping to do. And then people that want to do it just as a thing or get better, they can go there. And if they want to put their foot in the door for performing, like we're hoping that we pull from there.
Yeah.
You know? And that was Caleb's original idea, and that was years down the road in my mind. I wasn't even thinking about that, and he's bringing it up, and other people bringing it up. I'm like, gosh, this is a lot quicker and sooner than I was anticipating, and I love it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to just come out there and see what you guys have done. Because I did it pre you guys taking over, and then, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, shit. We got 9 minutes left. Yeah. That went by quick, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. So is there anything that you wanted to ask me at all that you've always wanted to ask me?
Oh, man. Shoot.
That's
I felt like I've learned a lot of stuff passively about you, so.
Right. It's all right if you don't.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, do you do anything with St. Joe's still? I mean, I guess I don't really know how that. I don't know if that's a wound or anything. So I should have asked you about that first.
That's not a wound at all. Yeah, we started Pyro Tribe, and then I was doing that for a long time, and then we just, me and two others were just kind of like, we've reached the end of this for us. It was like one of those things. I was trying to get gigs to get more money, and I was getting a lot more, but other members were like, we're not wanting to do this much. We just want to keep it this way. And that's totally fine. Okay. Like whatever you guys want to do. So we stepped away, and then Mooncat, which is fucking awesome. She took over and changed it to Pyro Flow, and they do their thing. I haven't burned with them in quite some time just because I don't really like going to St. Joe.
That's fair. Yeah.
I spent a long time living in St. Joe. I had 2 cars stolen from me in St. Joe. I've had people steal everything that I ever owned in St. Joe. And my youngest daughter lives there. I drive up every other weekend, pick her up, and I get the fuck out of St. Joe.
Yeah.
It's just
fair.
It's just negative to me, you know. And I still know a lot of people that live up there. A lot of the coolest people I've ever met live in St. Joe, you know. I have nothing against Pyro Flow or anybody up there. I think they're doing a great thing. The city definitely needs art. That's why we started it, was because it was lacking something, and we were like, fuck, we do this awesome thing. Let's do this. Let's start it up, And I'm really happy that they have continued to go with that. You know?
You should definitely, if you haven't been up in the last couple of years, you should go up to one of them. Yeah. Even because they do it at different areas each time now.
Same thing that we did back then. Yeah. We just go to different parts of the city.
You should see what you built.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
Is it?
It is very cool.
That's good.
Yeah. It is, and of course it's a smaller town.
For sure.
So, but I mean, it's families have obviously put it down on their calendars, and they are going to that, awesome. Which was happening for you guys too when you were there. But I mean, it's like a whole thing now. It's a thing now. There, yeah.
I saw she was doing like not just fire, but like getting the kids involved and doing hula hooping and like roller skating and all this stuff. It's like this circus night, and I love that.
Yep.
I saw pictures of you and videos of you up there. I was like, oh, Alex is going up there.
Yeah.
Did you go up? Did you try to go up every time?
Yeah, I've been trying to go up the last little bit, and I talked her into letting me do a fire safety class for the people that are currently with PyroFlow, which
Cool.
I guess got lost in translation, which is okay, but I ended up doing it for the community as well, so I got to do it for some kids, which I hadn't done in a long time.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I wasn't too sure, but it went great. They did
That's
great.
awesome.
The parents were awesome, and
Hell
they put
yeah.
out some fires, and
Yeah.
it was really cool and fulfilling. So
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I try and go a couple times a year at least, because the drive sucks.
Yeah.
The drive sucks,
That's
and
the
it's St.
thing.
Joe, and
Yeah.
and
No, that's the thing, especially now with gas prices being
Oh my
so
gosh.
much. Like it's fuck. It was $40 to fill my car up, and now it's like $80, and it goes through like a third of a tank to go up there and back. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And I already go up there to pick my daughter up, and it's on Friday, and I drop her off Sunday, so it's like, I just miss it.
Gosh, how old is she now?
She turns 10 next month.
No,
Astra turns 10 next month. My oldest turns 21 in July.
no,
Yeah.
no. You got different kids, and you're calling them your kids, because they can't be that old.
They're fucking, dude, it's crazy.
That old, that is crazy.
My son turns 18 in December. He's getting ready to go to the Navy. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he wants to be a mechanic, and but he wants to see the world, and he's like, I want to go in the Navy. That was one I wanted to go into the Navy. You know?
I was gonna say he's you.
Straight up me, dude. He's a skater. He's so fucking awesome. I love him so much. All my kids are so great, but they are getting old, and that makes me feel old because I am getting old. I mean, I'm almost 44,
That's crazy to think about.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still out there doing the thing, But no, I'll make it up to PyroFlow again, and we were talking. Me and some of the other guys were talking about like having like a little reunion sometime. That'd be cool. But,
That would be cool.
Yeah,
They would love that.
yeah, but they don't really burn anymore. It doesn't seem like.
Nah.
So it's like one of those things we talked about. Like if you quit.
Yeah.
What would your life look like if you quit? And I can't even imagine.
I can't either.
Dude. No. There's no realm of possibility that I would ever quit flow.
Yeah.
No,
I can't. And I mean, I don't even like super hard to gig. Like I don't look as hard as I should, honestly.
Right.
But I don't have to.
Right.
My day job pays for all my bills
Yeah.
and then some, and I can save money. So then that way, anything I make doing gigs is gravy, or I can put it I can put it back into the business, the art. And honestly, no, I'm not super rich, and I'm happy. And I mean, my art is my art. I can do whatever I want with it. I can take whatever gigs I want. And I mean, I've had some of the most fulfilling gigs the last several years. And actually this weekend I get to go do a gig with Tricks of the Light, which is like,
nice.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but I've wanted to do a gig with them forever.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like one of those like I've made it kind of things,
Yeah.
So,
That's tight.
Because I learned from them.
Hell
They've been a kind of pinnacle around here for a while, and so
that's
it's
cool.
gonna be cool.
And you still got the contract for Renaissance Fair?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, they usually wait till last minute to let me know because they do all their performers, and once all that's done, then they do the private contractors. So, hopefully, last I knew, everybody still loves us, and I know our king retired, so we don't have him in our corner, but I'm sure everybody else is going to want us back. So I'm hoping to do that and hopefully get you and Laura out. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know. Because it's like, what is it? September is the last, or is the?
It's September through like mid-ish October.
That's right.
So it's usually all of September and then the later or early half of October. So
September we're booked completely. I think we're going to be home for maybe 4 days in September. This year. And then October, we all know how October is. We're fire performers. That's spooky season.
It is spooky season.
But if you're still doing it and they offer extended, I'll definitely love to come out. And
always and forever.
Day. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck
yeah, you guys are great, and it's part of just showing people what we can do and getting people seen that don't get to be seen a lot. And again, just as you were saying, show somebody something, I get little kids coming up like, I want to do that one day.
That's my favorite.
I'm like, yes.
When kids are like, jaw on the floor, eyes wide open, just hypnotizing them. Oh, and they come up and you're like a rock star to them after. It's like,
or they're like, you're my favorite.
Right, right.
Like, oh.
Can you imagine?
It's like, you want a little flame while I cry real quick.
Right, right. I mean, just thinking about all the people that we've touched throughout the years. like little kids, that are probably not little kids anymore. Like, how would their life be different, if they didn't see that? I don't know. It's crazy. The world may never know, but we're also doing a really good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I told my drummer that this last year. He was talking about, he's great. He's a great drummer. He's like late 50s, I think, now, and he's, he's in a couple bands, but he's just like, he's like, yeah, like, I don't think I'll ever do anything, super life-changing or anything. He's like, I'm okay with that. I'm like, yeah, but like, dude, you're up here and you're doing these drums, and like, there's kids that come up here and they want to bang our drums up. He goes, yeah. I'm like, you don't know, in like 20 years, you see some big band on TV and they'll be doing different shots of them, and you'll look at that kid on the drums and be like, I don't know why he looks familiar, because it could be that kid that saw you at the fair or at your gig, however long ago, was like, that dude got me into it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's a true story, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're reaching the end. Is there anything that you want to promote about yourself, or anything that you want to give last words to before we go?
I guess I'll just say the cheesy stuff, follow your dreams and do what you like. And if you're interested in fire, there's a lot of people here in KC that want to see you do it and do it right. And, I'm only here to do whatever part I'm going to do. Yeah. And I'm trying to just make it to where it's a good part and it can continue, because it does not begin with me, and it's not going to end with me either.
Right.
So
cool. Fuck yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. That was really, nice, really inspiring, and nice to hear your story and your passions and all that. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for doing this. This is really great. So
we'll see where it goes. I hope it takes off, and not just, I don't really care about making money. I just want to talk to people and have other people listen and hear and know what's behind the performer, who they are, and because it's super interesting to be a performer. You got to be a special kind of nut job.
You do, some neurospicy, some problems. Oh, for sure. And being willing to stress. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The stress, it's all different flavors.
So. Right. Hell yeah. Well, thanks again, Alex Vineyard, for coming on to the show. Thank you guys for listening. This and every episode is brought to you by ReKinection, just so we shout that out. But yeah, we'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
All right.
Sweet.
Perfect.
That was awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much again.
Sicker than your average.